So here's a comparison between the 510 Impact VXI with the Mi6 rubber. So a little bit of a softer sole than the normal Impact and the Freerider Pro. So we've got Impact VXI here, 4 months of wear. If we have a look, you can see the holes are starting, and once these holes begin, you start getting water in your shoes and wet socks and your standing puddles. Here we've got the same shoe, the VXI, Impact VXI with the Mi6 rubber at 3 months wear, which not really any holes yet, which is good, so they're still waterproof. They've still got plenty of sole on them, as you can see. And in the middle we've got the Freerider Pro, which I've had for 4 months. And you can see 4 months wear has torn holes in the sole. So these soles are quite thin, same as the standard Freerider. Super sticky, really good on the pedals. They're light. Not a lot of ankle protection in these. I guess I'll see if we can put them side by side and get a ankle height comparison. There we go. So really not much difference between them, but it feels like there's less protection. So you can see here that's quite low compared to this one. So not a lot of protection in the Freerider Pro, but they feel really secure on your feet. The toe protection with the Freerider Pro compared to the standard Freerider. Now this is a really good piece of toe protection here. I was pretty impressed with it. I've smashed it a couple of times into rocks and come away without any broken toes or busted up toes. So happy with that, definitely. But these definitely make you feel a little bit more safe. The Impact VXI, more robust, slightly heavier shoe, not by much, still lighter than the standard Impact. Just standard lace up, comes with 2 different style laces, so the cord, like the round corded ones and these flat ones. I like the flat ones better, they don't come undone. Good toe protection, but again these soles are really soft, really thin, and once you put a hole in them, you tend to float on the pedals a little bit and they're just not much fun to ride with. Overall, from brand new, Freerider Pros are stickier than the Impact VXI. So this Mi6 rubber is apparently supposed to be softer, which you'd think would give you more grip, but it actually doesn't feel like there's more grip. They do feel a little softer and they obviously wear out quite fast. 4 months is about their lifespan if you got really aggressive pedals, which I do. I run the Nuke Proof Horizon pedals, so a threaded pin. They don't last very long. They're quite robust, lighter than the Impact, but heavier than the Freerider. Out of these 2 shoes, I definitely prefer the Freerider Pro and even the Freerider. The Freerider Standard, which I don't have here at the moment, is really good. Lasts more or less the same. You aim to get 6 months out of a pair of flat pedals, which is kind of the downside of flats versus clips. You won't get the same. If you're going to run an aggressive pedal, which I think you should, you're not going to get a lot of life out of these shoes. So that's negative towards the clips versus flats argument. More on that later. I do like these Freerider Pros because they are quite stiff. So I mean, it's kind of hard to demonstrate it, but underfoot they are quite stiff. They feel quite stiff. Great to sprint in, great to ride in. Again, not a lot of protection for your ankles, but good protection for your toes. They seem to be relatively waterproof. The tongue's not waterproof. I'm not sure what's going on there, but it sucks in a fair bit of water. They don't smell. They've done pretty well. I don't really do a lot of wet riding, so They wouldn't smell anyway, and you really develop the smell from sweating and having a wet dry shoe. So yeah, overall, the standard stealth rubber is stickier than the Mi6 rubber, lasts a little bit longer than the Mi6 rubber as well, and I'm looking forward to getting on some of these new Impact Pros which have just come out. So they'll be the next shoe I'll test out. I'm sure I'll get a little bit more life out of it. I believe that these lighter versions of the 510 shoes, whether it be this VXI or the Freerider or whatever, they all come with this really thin sole. So you can see here, look at that, there's not a lot of rubber there at all, so it doesn't take long to chew through it, and then you're chewing through the actual sole of the reinforcement of the bottom of the shoe. So I'm not a fan of that. This Mi6 is definitely a little bit thinner than the Freerider Pro, but not much difference. Both thin, both will last you about 6 months on aggressive pedals. You'll get a year out of them if you're not running as aggressive pedals. But if you want really robust shoes that are going to last, the standard Impacts or the Sam Hill Impact 3s or the new Impact Pro are the way to go.